What is probate? This video I'm going to talk about what probate is, when it might be necessary, when you know if you need to hire an attorney or go through the process. So essentially what probate is, it occurs after somebody has passed away. So unfortunately, in order for there to be a probate, there has to have been a death. Most commonly, mom, dad, sister, sibling, someone's passed away. They had assets that they were only in their name. And now you've got to, in order for the family to receive them, in order to inherit them, you're going to have to go through the probate process. Probate, there's going to be a court, there's going to be a judge, there's most likely going to be an attorney. It's going to take, depending on the situation, several months. And at the end of it, the judge is going to say who gets what of a person's stuff. Now, even if the person had a will, probate's going to be necessary. And that's where a lot of people are confused or just there's a misunderstanding that even if somebody has a will, we're still going to have to go through probate. We're going to have to take that will, give it to the judge. The judge, he or she, is going to review it, determine whether or not it's valid, and then you'll be able to proceed with the probate process. So when is probate going to be necessary? Most commonly is when there's a piece of real estate involved. So if your parents, if a loved one owned a home and it was only in their name, chances are before you can receive it, before you can inherit it, before you can sell it, before you can rent it out and put it in your name, you're going to have to go through the probate process. So most common example, mom and dad own a piece of real estate. Mom dies, the property is owned now by dad. But when dad passes away, in order for his kids to inherit it, again, even if there was a will, you're going to have to go through the probate process. So real estate, that's the most common one. The other might be if there was other assets like a bank account. So again, if mom and dad had a bank account, it was a joint bank account, mom passes away, it's dad's money, it's his account. But when dad passes away, in order for the kids to receive the money that's in that bank account, they're going to have to go through the probate process. Or really any other type of asset where there was no beneficiary or there wasn't a joint account. So stocks, bonds, anything like that, if there was no other owner on those accounts or there was no other beneficiary on those accounts, probate's going to be necessary. So what you want to do to determine, now someone might tell you that probate's necessary, right? You go to try to sell your home and maybe the realtor or the title company says, hey, have you done a probate? In which case you'll know you'll have to do it. Or maybe you go try to, go to Wells Fargo, Bank of America, wherever, and the teller tells you, unfortunately, since you're not on the account and you're not a beneficiary, we can't give you the money. But what you can do also is, again, look at the accounts, find out how they're titled, call and find out. Life insurance policy. Did a person have a life insurance policy and there was no beneficiary? Or maybe the beneficiary passed away before the owner of the policy did. Again, in which case, probate's going to be necessary. So take a look at the assets. Money, bank accounts, real estate, those are probably going to be the most common. You might have a car or a mobile home. Generally, those are not going to have to go through probate. Generally, you can go to the DMV with a copy of the death certificate and you'll be able to fill out some forms there in order to transfer those assets into your name. But most everything else is going to have to go through probate. So again, what is probate? When it's necessary? It's a legal process. There has to have been a death involved. Someone has to have passed away, at which point you're going to have to go to court, fill out paperwork. It can be a lengthy process, and it's only going to be necessary, again, if there is assets that you need to have transferred into your name or into the beneficiary's name.